Welcome to the Chamber Vibes podcast with your host, Brittany Timmons, the Greater Guthrie Chamber of Commerce CEO and President. In this podcast, you will hear from local guests who will discuss topics such as leadership, small business, and our vibrant community. You'll also hear success stories and tips from amazing local businesses, dive into important news, meet community leaders, and find out how you can get involved in our community. From the Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful and historic downtown Guthrie, America, here is Brittany Timmons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of Chamber Vibes. Today, I've got my friends Matt and Tessa Brown with Stewards Sports. How are you all?
Good. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it's morning, or whenever they're watching or listening. Yes. So, Stewards Sports. Let's tell everyone before we get into your story, which is what I love doing with these episodes. Tell everyone, what is Stewards Sports?
I would say Stewards Sports. You'll notice that obviously Matt Brown or Tessa Brown's not on the front of the building. Obviously we're on the papers to it, but I think it comes together with who's involved and inside the walls and outside. But Stewards Sports, as each one has received a gift, minister it to one another as stewards of the manifold grace of God. So, we've all been blessed and have talents, and it's our duties to be able to present those and share those. So
yeah. So what do you guys do there?
So we do. You want to take this one?
Yep. Yep. That's how it's gonna work. We're gonna get we're gonna get some bumping over here. To tell you who goes.
So we are a batting cage facility located in Guthrie. We're right off of Division and Triplet behind South Point Baptist Church. But we offer, obviously, softball, baseball training.
Okay.
We also do camps, clinics, private instruction. We have a whole building for members, individuals, team memberships to come in. So we've got teams from the community here in Guthrie, from local other communities around the area that come in and are able to use our facility to get their practices in every week.
That's awesome. And you guys have grown. You guys used to be over off Waterloo, is that right? And then you moved. Yeah. So now you're a little more in town.
Yeah, we were in Edmond for 7 years.
Yep, 7 years.
And then came up, Guthrie's our home, and saw a need for it in the community here. And so kind of was blessed with that situation and able to come up here and open up the facility here. And so we had both facilities for just a short period of time, and then we transferred to Guthrie.
And then you've added on since you got here and then kept adding things.
Yeah, so we started with just one building for our instructors so that they would have a home and a place for their kiddos to come and do lessons. And since then, we've added a couple of outdoor fields, some outdoor turf area, and a second building. Yeah. And that's kind of what we call our community building, where our teams and our members have an opportunity to go and have a nice space to go into.
That's awesome. So we talked a little bit before, but of course, we have to tell them the story. So you're not from Guthrie. Nope. So let's talk a little bit about your background. Matt, you've got a really cool one as far as your history with baseball. And so let's talk about that in your story and how you guys got to Guthrie.
I would say, obviously, born and raised in the city. Went to Capitol Hill High School. Obviously, I'm in private instructions, and every once in a while when they say, hey, where are you from, and what have you done? Obviously I said, I went to Capitol Hill, and then I was going to move on. It's almost like they throw Sour Patch Kid in their mouth, and they're like, what? Capitol Hill. So, it's always a fun story, but I definitely wouldn't change it.
That's right.
Obviously from that standpoint, I'm very grateful from where I've been raised and upbringing, and I really have enjoyed being able to, come into Guthrie. When I played ball, it was always a joy to, jump, in our cars. We didn't really take a bus when we played baseball. We jumped in our cars and went to our locations, and it was always a joy to jump on 35 and come, right into the heart of Guthrie and play in an amazing ballpark downtown. And, it was a fun environment.
Yeah. So you played through high school, and then what?
It's okay.
I want you to talk about it.
Yeah.
This is what I do. I pull it on you.
Yeah. So I did go to Capitol Hill High School, and I was fortunate enough to be able to go to Wichita State, play under Gene Stevenson.
Shockers.
Go Shockers. Huge
Gene.
blessing. Hang out with Papa Gene, and he truly was, a dad to me, and honestly helped me get through my 3 years at college. A little backstory: obviously, I lost my pops when my freshman year in college, and Gene made that commute down 35 to us, and let my dad know that I was going to be taken care of, and he was going to be Papa Gene, and he lived up to for those 3 years. And so definitely owe a lot to Gene, and taking me under his wing and treat me as a son, as well as just the other coaching staff there that knew that I needed those figures around me to kind of keep me on the straight and narrow. Then 2007, got drafted with the Cleveland Indians. Huge blessing. That's always
so cool.
Childhood dream.
Right.
Dad always raised me, do everything as though you're doing it for the Lord. And, it was a true blessing to be able to have the opportunity to extend, after high school, and very grateful for those 3 years with the Indians. And then had some injuries and stuff that put me on the shelf and had to fight through and whatnot, but was able to get healthy. Played a couple years up in Traverse City, Michigan. Played some independent ball up there, and that was a beautiful time in my life as well. They have some host families up there. They put us in their homes, and they treat us like homes. And I can honestly say that that family is a big part of my life as well.
We got
too.
the best.
Yeah,
Awesome. So did you guys meet in Michigan?
We met at Wichita State.
Wichita State.
Yes,
okay.
our freshman year,
So
first day.
so you went with him to? Did you go with him to Cleveland and then to Michigan?
I did not. So
Okay.
he drafted our junior year of college, and so I finished out my senior year of college.
Okay.
And then the summer after I graduated, I went up to Cleveland area.
Okay, cool.
And got to hang out with him. I actually flew in, I think, on my graduation day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, but I was Wichita State via Minnesota, and I was there for academic scholarship.
I knew you were from up
Yes.
north. Okay, there you go.
So that's where we met.
Okay, and so then how and why? Obviously, Oklahoma raised, Matt.
Yep.
But what do you? So when you finished playing ball, you're like, okay, I'm coming back home, or what did that look like?
Through college, honestly, I had another family. Obviously with my dad passing and whatnot. My mom, moved in with my older sister. And so when I came back from, college and, even pro ball, I would, I lived with the Grandstaffs, which kind of like my brother, and kind of put me up. And, it's always been home. And then obviously stepping into marriage and, stepping into having a kid and, just trying to kind of get some pillars in the ground and creating a foundation for them, decided to, retire and really tried to, answer the calling of being able to create Stewards Sports and start creating a home for it that can go into communities that, create a safe, fun, exciting place to polish talents. And,
obviously it's a very important part of your life. And so it's always forever going to be part of your life.
And through a connection that he had, I was offered a position out of college here in the city also.
Okay.
So
how'd you guys kind of stumble upon Guthrie? You wanted a smaller town, or what did that look like as far as you choosing Guthrie?
At Edmond, we'd been there for 7 years, and rents was going to get raised a little bit, and we were kind of trying to navigate through what that looked like. We tried to kind of put it at the Lord's feet and kind of let Him direct our paths, and it ended up opening up a spot, just south of Guthrie. Honestly, the testimony of that would probably take up a full hour of podcast, but had an auction, wasn't supposed to be there. Ended up showing up. Hudson and Nick O'Connell and Eric Little were there, and they were bidding. Obviously, I had a partner in Edmond, and it kind of just transpired to where I was there, and I thought maybe it was an extension of Stewards Sports being a second location, because some things kind of transpired in Edmond to where we were going to try to keep them both going. And good Lord had some different plans and presented an opportunity for us to actually, own the place and whatnot. So it
just worked out.
It worked out to where they had the auction and my name wasn't on the winning bid, and it transpired after it like, hey, if you want it, the ticket's yours.
Wow.
And it transpired.
I'd say that was your sign.
Yeah,
definitely the Lord came in when the boat was rocking and the waves were hitting. We didn't really know where we would be or what we were doing, but we knew that the Lord had some things in motion, and he came through quick and presented an opportunity for us to continue to serve and polish talents and be obedient to what he's blessed us with.
Yeah.
And our family was already part of the community at that point, too.
Right.
We had lived here, called Guthrie our home, for about 7 years before the business came.
Yeah, so you were already like the kids are going to school and falling in love with the community.
Groups, we had our neighborhood, our friends, so we
just made sense
loved it.
that you
now
got
it's
to be
5
close
minutes
to
down
home.
the road.
Right.
Yeah,
that's gotta be nice.
And
I know. I love my short commute.
Kids' friends coming in.
Yeah,
and, they get to be involved, and so it's obviously our friends are our family at the end of the day, and that's how we build our business too. Is that it's it's just a place where we all come and hang out and it's fellowship together.
It is. We've made friends going there. And so, I can actually say I have a personal connection too, because my daughter Aubrey plays catcher and she's been doing lessons for about 1.5 years now, and she absolutely loves Garrett. And so if it's okay, I would love to talk about the staff. Can you kind of highlight the instructors there at Stewards?
Absolutely.
So we've got 3 main instructors, and then Matt also. So we've got Bobby Grab. Bobby and Matt went to school together. Back in the day, they grew up together. He is probably the most knowledgeable baseball guy I know. He will talk stats with you all day long. He's a student of the game, always learning, growing, watching.
That's awesome.
He does hitting as well as pitching lessons for us, some fielding. We've got Garrett Crone. So Garrett was actually a student of Matt's, graduated from Edmond North High School, and he actually got scholarship to go play some college ball. And so Garrett's been with us now about almost 2 years, year and a half.
Full-time.
Yeah.
2 years full-time.
But he always came back kind of in between college breaks and that, and would do
to
lessons.
help or check in.
He is our primary catching instructor at Stewards, recently engaged.
Yes. Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah.
There they are there on the screen.
Yeah. So that's Bobby and Garrett there. And so, Garrett's full-time with us. He does hitting, catching, fielding.
A little bit of everything.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then our newest instructor is Scott Crone. Creedon, sorry. Garrett Crone.
Okay.
Scott
Lots
Creedon.
of names. I put you on the spot.
And he came to us this summer from Boston.
Wow.
So he played through high school and got a scholarship to play college ball here in Oklahoma. Was in Oklahoma, graduated last May, went back home, and kind of decided that he missed Oklahoma a whole lot too.
Wow.
He was doing instruction for a facility back in the Boston area, the suburbs of Boston. And so he kind of made that big move, big trek to us, and is calling Stewards home too. And he does pitching instruction with us for baseball up there. We've recently added, it's actually Garrett's fiance. Her name is Erin. She does a lot of our social media.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
If you've noticed
did
our
not know that.
social media engagement and posts,
That's awesome.
change direction and be like well worded. They're not coming from this guy anymore.
No offense, Matt, but she's helped you up your game. No, I'm just
the
kidding.
game has been increased, so we've got it. Like we're with it now. Like we're like, oh, we don't really know how to do all this stuff. We're old, and
I think it looks great. I did not know Garrett's fiance was doing it.
She got us going on Instagram,
Facebook
now,
page,
Facebook page. We've got lots of posts and and it's amazing too. And we really like it because it allows these kids to be highlighted. These kids are coming in weekly and grinding and putting in the work, and it's beautiful to see them be highlighted. And I know their families enjoy it. I, as a mom, I love when my kid goes somewhere. And,
I think the before and afters are cool.
Yes,
that they've been doing, where they kind of show how far that they've come.
Yeah.
But here's a year ago and here's them now. That's really cool.
And we've had other instructors with us over the years, obviously, and some of them have gone in other paths of life that it's taken them, and gotten married and moved away and kind of gone other directions and fallen into families' businesses and that type of thing too. But I'd say we've been really blessed over the 9-10 years that we have owned a facility and had employees. Everyone that has come through our door has really been incredible and always left us
part
probably
of your story,
with more.
whether they were there for a little bit.
And they're our family.
Yeah.
Like, we just will love them forever.
Yeah.
No matter whether they stayed or they left or, had different change in life plans, but they're definitely a big part of us.
Definitely left us better,
Yeah.
for sure. So.
Yeah.
So, as far as the instruction go, what age do you start with, and do they have to have any experience, or what does that look like?
It's, as far as private instruction, it doesn't have to be the elite. Honestly, I enjoy working with the beginners.
Yeah.
I enjoy, planting that seed of, the passion and the love for the game, as well as, taking little steps to teach that obedience and that discipline, and, learning to love it and, wanting to show up each week with that excitement of, man, I love touching a baseball. I love swinging a baseball bat. I love putting on a glove and playing catch. So, we work from anywhere from, I've had as early as 3 years old, all the way up into, pro ball. And so, there's definitely a different variety for sure.
Our number one question is, are they potty trained?
Yes. Definitely don't want to have to deal with that.
When we get the calls for the camps and they're like, well, I've got a really little guy. And I'm like, is he potty trained?
Yeah, yes.
That's about the only thing our instructors won't do.
Right. Yes, that's funny.
Otherwise, they're good. They're
good to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so, like you said, you did baseball and softball.
Yep.
Yep.
Do baseball, softball, and try
all
to
positions.
Yeah, all positions, and that's all part of the team. I don't want to necessarily try to be a pitcher, and I know the Lord's allowed me to be blessed in the hitting side and the fielding side and the outfield side type situation. So
And the outfield's really important. Teach my daughter that too.
yeah, right.
There's some photos on the screen
And
there.
nobody wants to be in the outfield when they're little, but when they get older,
man,
they get all the plays.
Right. I took Aubrey to watch the College World Series last year. We went to the OU game. And I'm like, look, those outfielders are saving the game.
Yes.
Like I think they think when they're little, if they're put out in the outfield, then that means they're not any good or they can't outfield or whatever. I'm like, no, it's a huge position. All of the positions are really important.
They are. Yep,
And-
they all
and-
play a role.
And that's our job as instructors, and just a place of business is that we've all been blessed. We've all been given talent, and the trick is to show up at your best. And when we do our camps and our clinics, and even our last Bible baseball and softball.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
It's one of those things where they're all coming in the room with different gifts and,
Right.
and different opportunities, and true is the place of the business is to be able to present those talents and share those talents and try to level up that person next to you,
Right.
And present yourself well, and that's the exciting part of it.
Yeah, so let's talk about Bible baseball / softball.
Yes.
And what that is, because that's a really unique thing, I
Yes.
think, that I have never seen before at other facilities or cages. And so talk about that program.
I would say Bible, baseball, softball. Always when I played, I was, in my Bible and reading, and my dad, planted that seed when I was real young to, be able to lean on him first and foremost and put him, front and center. Obviously you got the baseball and the softball world as well too, where you're trying to train your body physically, and I truly believe that you need both. And if you can get that number one right with reading, believing, plugging in, that the good Lord's going to be there. So we wanted to try to create an environment to where that could happen. We didn't want to force feed it because,
Right.
but
It's optional to attend.
It's optional. But from that standpoint, being able to, that first hour of Bible, baseball, softball, we're polishing talent. The instructors are feeding them and pouring into them. We have some of our sessions that come and see us every single week. We have some that, every other week. And then we have some that, might not be able to come in as much or even get private instruction. So that's their opportunity to be able to experience that. And
There's some info up there on the screen.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. So and in the last 30 minutes we go over a few verses. I'm big on just sharing. I'm not trying to force them to believe a certain way, but
Right.
Having some fellowship and planting the seed and letting God provide that increase for them in their walks and their beliefs.
We were able to start it in Edmond.
Yep.
And that's when the program kind of first started, and we did a lot of community outreach through the program too, which is really important to us. So we did like a Christmas drive every year for toys, and we'd have food brought in, and families could come and get gifts do that type of thing. We did back to school drives every year. I mean, we'd have 200 kids come in and fill their backpacks up with their school list, that type of stuff. So that was a big part of our program also, is being able to do that kind of stuff and, you know, reach out into the community. That's with how you guys give back. Yeah, and it's free to attend. So after kind of when our season started, and our instructors are also coaches, right? And they get out into the community and they're coaching on the weekends. So we kind of found it like, okay, well, what are we doing now? And we realized the need for it at the fields. And so it's in our facility up until March, and then in March it actually goes out to the ball fields with our instructors. So they each on Sundays will invite the teams that they're kind of playing with, and you can, if you see one of our guys out there, you know, you can find them. And so we usually get, you know, the team that they're coaching and, you know, other teams together, and they're able to kind of take it. That's because awesome. That's hard, and that's sometimes a big deterrent for families to kind of enter that tournament world, because it's all weekend, right? And they're missing the fellowship, they're missing their church family. That's so true. They're missing the word and that type of thing. So that's kind of important to us too, and our family in particular also, is to still be able to have that fellowship and you know, kind of be around our kids, around other kids, and find some like-minded families. I think
it's super awesome and
fun.
Super special. And like you said, you don't charge for it.
Yeah.
And so that allows maybe some kids to come that, you know, like you said, can't do something else otherwise, but you're feeding back into the community that way. And obviously a lot of them are your students.
Yes.
You know, but, and maybe that's also a way too, that they come and then they go, you know, I really like Coach Garrett or Bobby, you know, or Scott, and, you know, or Matt, and then they want to come back, you know, and I know that that's not your goal. Right. Your goal is to just provide a wonderful service and, like you said, to get in the word.
And it's fun, and it allows the kids to get out there too and invite a friend, or say, hey, I've been going to this for the last month, you know, when they get on a team, and have their team come and join them there.
Yeah, it's cool.
And so it kind of opens up just a different avenue besides, you know, the practices, the being on the field, you know, it kind of opens up that as far as the fellowship goes.
Yeah, and it's super
conversation.
And it's been pretty awesome, even for some of those kids that are in those sessions. I mean, we've had some 8 or 9 year olds step up and be that instructor to that, you know, family, or that gal or boy that coming into that Bible and baseball, softball situation, and they get to share it and give
they
back.
Come along.
Yeah, it's kind of that reach out, lift up.
Yeah, reach out, lift up mentality. So,
and we've got our high school kids, we have college kids that come back for it even and help us out.
That's
and
awesome.
So it's kind of fun, you know, you get to see those little guys look up to those big boys that are playing, and they think the world of them. So when they come back and, you know, gift their time in that way, it's really special too.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's really cool. That's just one of the amazing things that you guys do. So as far as what does it look like if you know, you got memberships or teams or individual lessons? I know you kind of offer all that, but if you kind of want to go over the different options people can have for getting training. What does that look like?
Yeah. So we've got the option for the individual instruction, and like Matt said, some people do it weekly, some are every other, some are once a month, some are seasonally. I mean, we're super open, flexible. We're flexible. You know, whatever you can.
Which
do,
I will say, as a parent, makes it really nice. It really does,
and
because you can fit what works for you, like financially. You know, maybe it is just once a month or twice a month, or maybe you're there 3 times a week. You know, but you guys allow that. Whereas I feel like certain other gyms or clubs or whatever, there's just not that flexibility.
Yeah. And our instructors are there 7 days a week. So they work with schedules really well. I mean, they're awesome, and they want your kid to get in and get work in and be as successful as they can be as well. So they definitely do that and work with the parents really well. And then we offer the camps and clinics, kind of like we talked about. So the clinics are more small group, specialized training. Our camps are larger. We kind of go over all aspects, you know, of the game within those, but it's larger groups. Our numbers are still really low. We usually try to do like a 4-to-1 instructor to kid ratio, just because we find that to be of vital importance.
Right.
Like, we want you to get the absolute most out of it. We want your kid to get the absolute most out of it that they can get while they're with us for the day. And they work hard. We wear them out.
Yeah.
So
they definitely sleep well at the end of the night.
Monday nights, we offer what we call live nights. So that's junior high and high school kiddos can come up. We have live pitching, catching, and hitting. So that's all on our website. It's all on our Facebook pages. You can kind of check all that out as far as pricing, all that type of stuff for that. But that's something new, and it's really grown. And I mean, we've got quite a few kiddos in there getting those live reps, which is so important with their seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. With their season around the corner, during the winter, they're able to log those live ABs and kind of wrap their head around having quality ABs and, jumping on the mound and gathering themselves and living around the zone and, catchers being able to, frame and stick and, work with pitchers and build those relationships so that when they go back into their schools, they're able to be confident and bold and, be polished up.
Yeah.
And it's great, cool, too, because we have kids that come from all over. Yeah. So, we've got Guthrie, we've got the Edmond schools, we've got Deer Creek, we've got kids from Mustang, Stillwater, Cashin, Crescent, yeah, Piedmont, Oklahoma City area.
Mahal.
Yeah, Mahal, Coyle.
All
that.
Awesome.
So they kind of, it's fun. They get to bond in that moment during that live night, and they're about to go see each other and face them out on the fields, you know? So that's kind of neat too, and it's kind of building relationships that they might not otherwise have to be able to meet, these kids. Yeah. So it's fun, and they get to see something different. They're seeing different pitchers that they normally would not see. There's, pitchers are working with different catchers, vice versa. The hitters are seeing, they kind of in their schools obviously work off of each other and do their BP and do that type of stuff, but it's kind of fun and unique, cool, and build relationships with people from outside their schools and their communities. So.
And then you offer teams. So like if a team wants to reserve a space and the whole team can come practice?
Yes, yeah. So we have memberships. They get an hour and a half a week. It's kind of a rain or shine deal. So they get 2 indoor cages, outdoor cage, and an outdoor field.
Okay.
And so the coach can use it however they need to. Okay. So, if it's raining, the whole team can be inside. They can be working inside.
Yeah,
if it's snowing.
Or a little bit of snow.
And if it's beautiful and they want to work outside, they're able to, open up the building, and the coach can kind of, coordinate between the building and the field and do what they need to do. We have our coaches that can go in there and assist with practices if they need, the help or want the help to do so. And so that's great. We've got about 10 teams this spring that are rolling and going up there, so that's really good. And then we offer individual memberships. So you can bring your kiddo up there on your own or, siblings, all that type of stuff, and they can come in for up to an hour a day, 7 days a week. It's open from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m.
They can schedule it online?
Yep. Okay. All through an app so they can schedule their time so they know it's not a wasted trip. They've got their time.
That's good.
Their time there.
They don't have to get up there and wait for the cage or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah. Cool. Yeah, so right there on the screen, you can just go to the app on your phone and scroll and do all of your scheduling and everything right there. You got the service list, membership information, camps, clinics, all of that. So very cool.
And we keep our Facebook page pretty up to date.
Yes,
on all that
thanks to
information.
Garrett's fiance.
That's right. Thanks to Aaron.
That's funny. That's funny. You told on yourself.
And you can understand the grammar.
Yes. Hey, you were just trying to make it. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I was trying.
Hey, the good thing is he knows his weaknesses. So
sometimes,
yes. And so touch on the camps really quick because they don't have to be taking lessons or a membership have a membership to attend.
Yeah, the camps are wide open door, and that's kind of the vision of it. We don't want to necessarily get labeled that it's just Stewards Sports kids or it's just this certain team's kids.
There's some camps and clinics there on the screen.
We definitely want it to be an open door situation to where we're all a family. We're all just trying to come together and brighten up the room. Some will have a little bit more brighter of a light, and some will be a little bit dim, but hopefully, Lord willing, that bright light will lift them up and giving them opportunity to enjoy the game. And those relationships that the camps present.
Yes.
We try to provide lunch at camps.
Get the kids out of the house. I know I've taken advantage of that. Like Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. I mean, you guys try
spring breaks coming up.
Spring breaks coming up. Yes, try to give those opportunities because, with working parents, if you're not traveling, then a lot of our kiddos are just hanging out, somewhere, and you're like, okay. Yeah. So that gives them an opportunity to move.
And we really have an awesome time. I mean, I love camps. I know The kids love it. I mean, they are excited when they get there in the morning. We've got donuts laid out, and we're getting them sugared up and ready to go right off the bat. So,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll feed them lunch, and they usually play a game at lunchtime too. They kind of, get a break from that.
Right.
They get to do some dodgeball, or kickball, and they have a great time. So we love camps. The kids are excited about camps. I mean, they come in hyped. So.
And you guys you'll have spring break, and then you'll have some summer.
We'll probably have
camps.
some summer
I know
events,
it's hard
yeah.
with the teams
Yeah.
and traveling. You guys have kids of your own, doing their teams and tournaments and all of that too. But
yeah, we usually do the clinics over the summer, kind of the smaller group thing. It allows the instructors to kind of be able to pick their time that they're available a little bit more. Then we usually do a really big back-to-school camp, and then that kind of rolls us into the fall break, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, before we wrap up, I'd like to say, Matt, tell us about this play. Tell us about, the play. Right there on the screen.
Yeah,
Tell us about that play right there.
I would definitely.
I've also seen this online.
I would probably definitely break now. I have a hard time even just picking up the bat.
So
and,
amazing. And we talked about outfield.
We did. Obviously
insane.
that was definitely a highlighted moment of my life, and very exciting.
Yeah.
Got to go to the ESPY Awards. And
That's so cool.
Ended up losing out to the kid that I believe was falling down and shot the shot and
the
made
winning
it.
shot from his booty. Yep.
But definitely, as you can see, all those fans, I want to say, it was great making that catch, but that roar, the roar of the crowd, and just having.
And you were able to stand up after that, which is always good.
We said he'd probably break
we had to throw that into the pod. Matt looked at me like, what play are you talking about?
I did too. I was like, what are you doing here?
Famous play.
You got me.
Yeah.
But it was,
if you're listening on Spotify, you just need to go to YouTube so that you can check it out. So.
Yeah, right. But
it was pretty crazy. For years, we actually couldn't find it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in that time where
video wasn't really a thing, and we were lucky. It was Wichita State versus OU, and so it was a televised game on ESPN, and so it took several years to get the clip, but it was.
Oh no! Like I said, I've seen it, and that's before. I mean, I don't even remember how or where. Maybe somebody shared it to your page. Something.
Yeah, we usually try to share it to give everybody a good laugh about how that's not possible anymore.
Definitely not
and no
possible
injuries
anymore.
After that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even make it to the line now.
You trip before you got there.
Hey, I would try, but I'd probably fall down.
Yeah, that's insane. And it's one of those in the moment things that your body was just like, I got to jump up and get this, but you had no clue how that would play out.
No, just, being reckless.
You cannot predict those kind of things. Being reckless.
Being reckless and,
what a catch.
go get mentality for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for taking time to be with me. Congratulations on your business and all that you guys have done. And it's just been awesome. And I know even just a little bit that we've been part of the Stewards family, we've seen it grow and things like that. And it brought friends, and it's just great. So we love having you guys in Guthrie, and just keep doing what you're doing. So.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to add?
I'm just glad my wife came to save the day.
Yes, you guys did great. You did.
She's definitely the behind the scenes gal.
I've had interviews with couples where one person won't talk at all.
Well, I didn't have to whack him under the table too many times today.
That's why I set her right here.
You guys are awesome. You did great. Well, so the best way, I think, follow them on Facebook for sure. Yeah. You can keep up with all of their events, and then, of course, their website, and then their app as well. Yep. So, and that's pretty much the best way. People can just message you through there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. They can find us Facebook, Instagram, website.
Awesome. My Sports Space. And
the My Sports Space app is how we do our scheduling for the members. So,
Awesome.
Or just give us a call.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear me.
Yeah.
Got it.
I definitely appreciate you having us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for what you guys do for the community and giving back. And it's just awesome. You can tell that, your hearts are completely in this. You guys are living and breathing baseball and softball. And it's awesome to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
So
All right. There you have it. The Browns with Stewards Sports. Check them out. We'll catch you next time for another episode of Chamber Vibes.
Thanks for listening to the Chamber Vibes podcast from Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful downtown Guthrie, America. Be sure and check out a new episode every other Monday. And until then, remember to choose Guthrie.